Chapter 13. The Fall of Many Priests. July 23rd, 1943. Jesus says, "When the time comes, many stars will be swept away by the coils of Lucifer, who, to prevail, needs to lessen the lights of souls. This will be possible because not only the lady but also the clerics have lost and lose more and more that steadfastness of faith, of charity, of strength, of purity, of detachment from the enticements of the world, qualities necessary to remain within the sphere of God's light. Do you understand, Maria, who these stars I'm speaking about are? They are those whom I define as salt of the earth and light of the world, my ministers. The plan of Satan's shrewd malice is to put out, by sweeping them away, these stars that are lights reflecting my light for the crowds. If despite the light still given off by the priestly church, souls are sinking deeper and deeper into the darkness, it can be guessed what darkness shall drive the crowds down when many stars have died down in my sky. Satan knows it, and scatters his seed to prepare the weakness of the priesthood, to be able to sweep it away easily into sins, not so much of the senses as of their minds. In a mental chaos, it will be easy for him to bring about a spiritual chaos. In the spiritual chaos, the weak, confronted with the torrents of persecutions, will commit the sin of faint-heartedness when they deny the faith. The church shall not die, because I will be with it, but it shall experience hours of darkness and horror like those of my passion, hours multiplied in time, because it must needs be. It must needs be that the church suffers what its Creator suffered, before dying to rise in an eternal form. It must needs be that the church suffer much longer because it is not, in its members, perfect like its Creator. And if I suffered for hours, it must suffer for weeks and weeks of hours. In the early times, the church was persecuted and fed by a supernatural power in her best children, and then she sprang up. She will have the same lot when the last times come, in which she will exist, subsist, and resist the satanical tide and the battles of the Antichrist with her best children, a painful, albeit just selection. In a world in which so many spiritual lights will have died, it is logical that there openly begins the brief but dreadful reign of the Antichrist, begotten by Satan, just as Christ was begotten by the Father. Christ is the Father's Son, procreated by love with purity. The Antichrist will be Satan's son, procreated by hatred with triple impurity. Like olives between the grinders of the oil press, the children of Christ will be persecuted, squeezed and crushed by the greedy beast, but they will not be swallowed, because the blood will not let them be corrupted in the spirit. Like the first children, the last shall be mown down like sheaves of grain in the dire persecution, and the earth will drink their blood. But forever blessed for their perseverance are those who die faithful to the Lord. Chapter 14. Jesus is to judge everything. July 26, 1943. Jesus says, "I tell you all that I am the Father's voice, and that I speak in His name. I tell you all that I am the one to whom every judgment has been referred by the Father." Chapter 15. The Beast's Breath. July 28, 1943. Jesus says, "In a world such as yours, it is so difficult for me to find disciples' souls, and it is even more difficult to find, even among children's souls. The beast's breath has corrupted you people so much that it has killed simplicity, trust, innocence, in which I took my rest, even in little children's souls.